Welcome to the video lecture on section 3.1. This section will deal with adjectives. So the general structure in Spanish is to have the adjective follow the noun. So first you have the noun and then the adjective. As we said before, nouns can either be masculine, feminine, singular, and plural, and therefore the adjective that describes the noun has to also match with the gender and number. So, for example, if you had a noun that's singular and masculine, the adjective would also have to be singular and masculine. In terms of changing the adjectives to masculine, feminine, singular, and plural, really depends on the ending. So if you have an adjective that ends in an O, it can have 4 different forms, as this chart says. The feminine, masculine, feminine ends in A, the masculine ends in O, and then to make them plural, you just add an S to that. So in the case here, in the singular, el muchacho is the noun, the boy, and alto is the adjective. So you can see the muchacho is singular and masculine, so the adjective will also be singular and masculine. If it's masculine and plural, all you do is add an S and an S to both of them. Same with muchacho. Adjectives that end in E or consonant have both the same masculine and feminine forms, both in singular and plural. So you can see inteligente, just add an S, inteligentes, ends in an L, difícil, difficult, make it plural, you just add an ES. And it's the exact same for the feminine adjectives. Adjectives that end in OR kind of change. If it ends in OR, like trabajador, you add an ES to make it plural. That would be the masculine. If it's feminine, ends in ORA, trabajadora in this case, a worker, you would add an AS at the end to make it plural, trabajadoras. Now here's a whole list of adjectives, high-frequency adjectives that we'll be using here. So become familiar with them. Notice that it gives you the singular form for masculine and feminine adjectives. Alto, alta, antipático, antipática, bajo, baja. And just remember that if you have multiple nouns here and one of them is masculine, one of them is feminine, the adjective will be plural and masculine. In terms of adjectives of nationality, the big difference between English and Spanish is that they're not capitalized in Spanish. And like all adjectives, most of them change depending on the gender and number of the noun. So in this case, we have Alemán, German, or Alemana, German as well. One of them is masculine, Alemán. Alemana is feminine. So you can see el hombre alemán or la mujer alemán. And since it ends in an N, you would just add an ES at the end for the masculine to make it plural. Or since the feminine ends in an A, all you do would be add an S to make it plural. So los hombres alemanes, las mujeres alemanas. There's a couple nouns that can be placed before. Bueno and malo can both either be placed before the noun or after the noun. So you can see an example here. Joaquín es un buen amigo. Joaquín es un amigo bueno. Both mean the exact same thing. The only difference is that when bueno is placed before the noun, it changes from bueno to buen. And malo, if it's placed before the noun, it changes to mal. The only one that changes meaning of these three is grande, whereas when it appears after a noun, it's talking about its physical characteristic. So it's big, large, physically large. Whereas if it's before, it's talking about a great man, a great structure, something that's worthy of recognition, I guess, or something like that. So in terms of the homework, the first assignment, all you have to do is take the sentence and use the opposite adjective. So, for example, in the first one here, es antipático Don Antonio. Is Don Antonio a mean guy? So to answer it negatively, we would say no es simpático. So you just say no es simpático. Or you can also put él es simpático. Or Antonio es simpático. So all you have to do is find the opposite of the adjective here. Antipático, the opposite is simpático. And then say no, comma, es simpática, no, él es simpática. And remember that most of these, since these are all character descriptions, that's the D in doctor description here. So you'll be using said with most of these. You can see here said, and said. So for the last homework activity, all you have to do is use the corresponding adjective. In this case, it's bueno for all of these, malo for all of these, and change it depending on whether it's before the noun or after the noun. So for the first one, la clase de matemáticas es muy, and since it's after the noun, la clase de matemáticas, it would simply be bueno. Rogelio es un, then we have adjective and noun, compañero. So since it's before the noun, it would be bueno. Same down here, Federico es antipático, y blank persona, y es una mala, because who you're describing is Federico, y una mala persona. Ahora es un, momento is the noun here, moment, so it would be